Okay guys, let's talk about habits. Today I wanted to share with you 4 things that I see in highly effective content creators and how you can start applying them today in your content creation strategy. Let's go. Hey guys, I'm Gwendolyn. I'm the content creator's best friend. I'm here to simplify content creation for you so that you can get back to what's most important in your business. Now, today we are talking about all about habits. And as someone who is a efficiency nerd, it is something that I nerd out about. I study. I spend a lot of time on how to make myself more efficient because I don't have a lot of time in my life with my business and my family and just the structure that I live my life in. So I am all about making myself more efficient and finding new ways to do more with less time. So these are the 4 things that I am seeing in highly effective content creators, what they do and what's really common across the board for those content creators so that I can bring it to you and you guys can start implementing that in your life. If this is something you're excited about, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And of course, if you're not already, subscribe to the channel if you want to learn more about efficiency with content creation and how to save time so that you can get back to what's most important in your business. Okay, so there's 4 things that I'm really seeing across the board for people who are really efficient with their content creation. It's pretty much they all use these 4 things. They're all doing these 4 things. So if you are not doing one of these things, it could mean that you are either posting the day you create the post, or you're feeling overwhelmed by content creation. You're feeling like your content is falling on deaf ears and you're not getting any traction. So any part of your content creation that feels inefficient or really that you're wasting time with your content creation, these 4 things are really gonna help. And let's start with number 1. Batching is life. Now, you guys know I am a huge fan of batching. I talk about it all the time. If you have been on this channel for a short amount of time or with me from the beginning, you know that batching is life, batching is everything. If you want to be consistent, you have to batch. There's just no way around it. If you are creating a post to post that day, you are being inefficient, not only with your time, but with your message. And what I mean by that, and I talk about this a lot in other videos about batching, but your message will be inconsistent because you are not on theme, on brand. You are not creating a message that's going to be the same throughout all your platforms. So batching is life. Knowing what you're going to batch is a big part of that. So make sure that you are not creating the day of a post. Make sure you are batching your content so that you can be a more effective content creator. Okay, so something else that I see in highly effective content creators, and this is something that I do and I teach, and I'm happy to show you how to do this. But what it is number 2, make sure you are planning extremely far in advance as you can go comfortably with how far you see your business going. I teach a system in my annual plan, which there's a link below if you want it. In the annual plan, I show you how to plan all your content around your business goals. So if you do live launches, if you do challenges, if you do engagement campaigns, if you are planning on releasing something really big in some syndicate magazine, whatever it is, plan around that. Plan as far in advance as you can so that excitement builds when you have a new service, a new product, either physical or digital, or you've got something exciting coming down the pike where you are being featured on some kind of platform. All those things add to the effectiveness of your content creation. And this is where, numbers don't matter. They just don't. And I talk about that all the time, but really numbers don't matter. It's more, are you being effective with that content creation? Are you being effective with what the content is about? Is it actually supporting your goals? Is it making you money? Does it have a purpose for your audience? All these things are really important, and you can't do that if you're doing it day of. So just like batching, creating the day of, planning, maybe just for the week is not enough, guys. Plan as far in advance as you can. I plan a year in advance, so all my content for this year was planned in 2019. That's just how I do it because then I'm able to sit down and batch. So today I've created 5 videos in one day, and last month it was 4 videos, and that's because, in July, there's going to be 5 Thursdays. So That's just how I create my content, and it all fits in my big business plan. So making sure that you're planning far in advance is so integral to being effective with your content creation. Number 3 that I see in every person that is out there creating content effectively, they're doing it where every single piece of content has a purpose, right? And I mentioned this, and they all seem to fit together, right? All these pieces fit together. It's because you can't just create content, something that's really valuable, and put it out there and go, oh my gosh, that was that was great. And you put it out there and there's no call to action. There's no incentive for anyone to look deeper into what you do. There's no incentive for someone to go further with you to get your services. You're not planning for what the call to action is. There is no purpose to it. And if you are creating content or posting content just to be consistent, then that is not a purpose. That is not enough for your audience. It is not enough for your business and your authority. You've got to do better. There has to be a reason for a post beyond just posting to be consistent. Okay, and my last thing that I am seeing every content creator that is really highly effective content creator that seems to be all over the place, that is always posting, that's just this continual basis. They're consistent. They're all on all these platforms. Those people understand the value of one piece of content. And so number 4 is nothing is wasted. No piece of content is wasted. Nothing is wasted, not even documenting, right? If you're just documenting your life and you're not putting a how-to piece of content or an inspirational piece of content out there, it can be turned into something. Know that nothing is wasted. And if you are posting content, for instance, a really great post on Facebook, and it just sits there and it dies there, I'm hurting for you. You are wasting so much effort, time, and awesome, valuable content that could be turned into something else. So understand that no matter where it's posted, why it's posted, what kind of content it is, can be repurposed into something else down the line, if not immediately. So if you guys know how I do it, I post a video here on YouTube, then it gets turned into 3 to 5 posts for Instagram and Facebook. It gets turned into an IGTV. It gets turned into a post for LinkedIn, for TikTok. It gets emailed out to my email subscribers. And so there's this life cycle of one piece of content. One piece of content turns into all those pieces. And so knowing the value of everything that you create and knowing that nothing should be wasted, use it as often as you can, break it up into different pieces, turn it into something else. If you are a business that has a pretty specific niche, and even if you don't, you're probably in some kind of niche, right? Because if you're not, you're probably not doing well in business. You've got to have some kind of niche, someone that you really help, and or something that you do that is very specific, right? So if that's the case, then you're probably only talking about a few topics. So being able to repurpose that content is so important, unless you're talking about something that's very topical to that week or that holiday, whatever it is. But know that if you want to be an effective content creator, then you need to create for repurposing. You need to understand that every piece of content you create should have a purpose. You need to understand that planning in advance is going to help you be more effective with that piece of content. That content's actually going to have residual effects. It's going to have this wave effect, this ripple effect, that one piece of content you're going to drop out there. And if it sinks to the bottom, you're doing it wrong. You've got to repurpose it. You've got to have the ripple effect. You've got to have that direction, that call to action to send people around, right? And if you're batching, that means you can be even more visible to more places. You can offer more of your time to your clients, your audience, by just talking to them in stories, in conversation, in comments, if you batch your content. So if you're spending your day creating a piece of content every day, or at least once a week, and that's a big chunk out of your week, you're not having, you don't have the time to really give to your clients and audience. So that's why all of these pieces fit together, and they are all things that people do that are highly effective content creators, right? So if you're seeing a highly effective content creator, I guarantee you they're doing all 4 of these. So I want to challenge you all to at least do all of these eventually, but at least one of them within the next week. So have a batch day scheduled, have a plan for what you're going to batch, and make sure it's around some kind of call to action, whether it be a download, whether it be inviting people to a Facebook group, whether it be to join your email list or to jump in a challenge, just to engage them, to get some engagement going, whatever it is, make sure there's a purpose. Okay. And then, of course, make sure that you are creating something to be repurposed. It should not be wasted. No piece of content. So if you are sitting there thinking that you are having to create every day, I bet you have something that can be repurposed right now. Something that you posted maybe 3 weeks ago could be turned into, if it were a Facebook post, maybe it can be turned into a live. Maybe it can be turned into a YouTube video or an IGTV. Whatever it is, go back in your content. Start repurposing, even if it's not exactly the same anymore. If it's the same content and it's still really awesome content and valuable content to your audience, go ahead and repurpose that puppy. I mean, now that's going to save you a ton of time from recreating the wheel. All right, guys, thank you so much for stopping in today. Let me know in the comments below if this was helpful. And of course, if you have questions about anything I addressed today, please let me know. And I have some big news for you. So if you stayed all the way to the end, this point, I have something I want to share with you guys. So I have a Facebook group that is specifically for people who are watching this content that want to do a deeper dive. And I do a training where you get to ask me questions as we're going, a live training. I'm always in there on the replay questions as well. And you can be a part of that. So hopefully that is something that you need. I've heard a lot of you needing a little bit more from me than just a video on YouTube. So this is what I have. It is a free Facebook group that you can jump in at any time, get some extra training, get some extra inspiration, and some one-on-one help from me. I hope to see you guys there. And of course, thank you for being here this week. Let me know how I can support you. Happy creating. I'll see you next week.